Real Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM WRDN. And good morning, I'm Brian Winnikins. We are at the Dunn County Fair. And again, today it's our third day of our livestock shows from the fair. And today we have the Swine show coming up here in just a couple minutes. And again, we would like to say thank you to our sponsors, including Shannon Crop Services, Wisconsin Credit Union Business Loans and Service, Cyforth Auction Mondovi, Countryside Co-op, Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, Value Implement Menominee, Synergy Co-op, Annabis Silo, Martin Transport, Compeer Financial, Hurlburt Heating and Plumbing, Osteoplastics, Dunn Energy, Brunner Seeds, Sunny Skies CBD, West Wisconsin and 24/7 Telecom, and Anderson Agribusiness, your Pioneer Seeds is serving the Menominee area. Again, please thank all of our sponsors. Without the support of these businesses and organizations, it's very simple. We would not have been able to do our live stream over the last 3 days here from the Dunn County Fair. And coming up in just a moment, we will be getting ready with our first class here at the Swine Show here at the Dunn County Fair. Welcome and enjoy the show this afternoon and this morning.
Okay, I want to call our first class to the ring, and that would be Explorers. We have 3 Explorers, so we're ready to get started. Make your way to the ring. Explorers class is called to the ring.
Again, welcome to the Dunn County Fair Swine Show. We are just moments away from our first class. It will be the Explorers class. Again, Explorers class is our first class. And again, thank you to our live stream sponsors, including Anderson Agribusiness, our Pioneer Seeds representative in Menominee, West Wisconsin and 24/7 Telecom, Sunny Skies CBD, Dunn Energy, Osteoplastics, Brunner Seeds, Hurlburt Heating and Plumbing, Compeer Financial, Martin Transport, and Annabis Silo. Some of our sponsors, also Value Implement, Synergy Co-op, Animal Wellness, Countryside Co-op, Cyforth Auction Mondovi, Wisconsin Credit Union Business Loans and Service, and PIP Seeds.
Okay.
There's one more, Tina, coming.
Yeah. Who's that?
Tina Sabelco. Tina Sabelco.
Tina?
Yep.
Sabelco. Always new names. Okay, starting our Explorer class out, we have 3 young ladies. We have Kana Sabelco, We got Katie Steinmeier and Miranda Creaser. Oh, we got an addition, too. Looks like a Biesterveld. And then we got a young man, Caleb Biesterveld. Future looks very good.
That's okay. I'll videotape it for you. Yep, unless you want to FaceTime and I can show you her too. Okay.
She's good.
Yep, I'll videotape it. She's doing really good. Yep, bye.
Hey, Jack.
Randy, might need somebody in there with board.
Over here.
They don't fight. Yes.
I don't even know. Purebred breeding gilts. Breeding gilts.
Well, good morning. It's a pleasure to be back. I had a wonderful day yesterday. We had a really outstanding beef show, and it went really well. It was a nice, kind of a nice breeze coming through the ring here yesterday, and I think it'll be all right. Hopefully the heat will stay away, and we'll have a good pig show. Nice big ring to look at the pigs. I think it's going to be a nice opportunity to have the young people be able to get their pigs out here and really make some nice drives, because there's a lot of space. We'll be able to see the pigs extremely well. Congratulations here as we start off with the Explorer Division. This is kind of the future of the swine project here. As I go to fairs and I see the Explorer classes, it is the future. And so hopefully these young people kind of get addicted to showing pigs and get excited about the swine industry and want to continue to bring back more and more pigs. Nice quality hogs out here. It's going to be if this is kind of an indicator of what we're going to see today, I think we're going to have a really competitive hog show. These young people did it really well. I asked them a few questions and just tried to get to know them a little bit, and they know quite a bit already about their pigs, and they like showing pigs, and so that's a great kind of attitude and demeanor to bring. So congratulations. Let's put our hands together, and we'll give them a nice round of applause as we start off today's Good Pig Show.
Okay, next in the ring will be breeding gilts, and we will start with purebred breeding gilts. Hold on. Cross. So, Brandy Berg, Brianna Berg, Hunter Roberts, Chloe Doomer, Chloe Steyer, John Clefstead, and Mariah Creaser. You guys all have a crossbred breeding gilt, so bring them to the ring right now.
We're doing.
You watch me live?
No, I think this one.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be a marathon. This is the biggest ring, I think.
Okay, class number 1 again
Abby,
is breeding gilts.
I need your phone.
Brandy Berg, Brianna Berg,
Abby,
Hunter
you
Roberts,
have your phone?
Chloe Doomer, Chloe Steyer, John Clefstead, Mariah Creaser.
What is this class? Is this all of our gilts?
Yep. So you have this class right here.
They're all purebred? No, that's our whole.
And just an announcement as we get the show going. Great to see everyone here. And I want to pay a special thanks to a few people in which got this going and probably stuck to the making it happen. Deb Gottliebson, Fair Board, and Derek Wolf. I know both of them put a lot of effort into making this show happen because you know the circumstances. And so I'd like to give them a nice round of applause and thank them for allowing this to happen. Thank you very much.
Well, actually, we need a champion breeding gilt.
Okay.
So this is we need a champion.
And so everybody knows the next class that we will have will be Market Barrel Purebreds. Market Barrel Purebreds.
real nice way to start off today's hog show here. We'll leave the top 3 out here because this one's getting a little worked up and might be a little more tough to get over there, but really high quality gilts. Really pleased with maybe the overall depth of the class. I think there's good quality females all the way down to the one that's going to conclude the class. These two here are going to work in that first and second hole, and I think they're very close. You can kind of go back and forth with them and make some trade-offs here. Where I think it's close is I'd like to maybe just change them and just each of them in just one little area to really make me just fall in love and tie into them as the easy class winner. But they're both very, very good. Don't get me wrong, and I think they're very high quality. I'm going to go ahead and use the solid black gilt to be our champion breeding gilt this morning. Let's give that young lady a nice round of applause. What I like about that gilt is she's just a little better in terms of her pastern angle. I think she's a little bit more opened up through her front end. When she comes at you, she's probably just busted apart through her chest floor with just a little bit more power. Probably just opened up just a little bit more through the center portion of her blade. It's close because I like the heaviness of bone of the blue belted gilt here. She's just so stout in terms of her heaviness of bone and foot structure. I like to change that foot structure. I like the bone part of it, but she gets a little down on her front dew claws. Maybe like to just open her up a little bit. She kind of gets a little flat in terms of that upper rib shape. You can see from behind just a little flatter in her skeleton, where the black gilt just is a little more robust in that center rib, just a little more pried apart throughout her skeleton. But both these gilts, outstanding quality, showed real well. The young lady down there does a really outstanding job getting that gilt's head up and driving that pig like a show pig. Really like the showmanship she brings to the class. So first place right here, grand champion, reserve champion down there in the blue gilt. Both outstanding gilts. Let's give these young people a nice round of applause on your champion, reserve champion gilt. And I'd like to say congratulations for bringing breeding gilts. Today, kind of in the modern era of show pigs, a lot of kids just want to do the barrows. The black and white gilt going down there, really heavy muscle. Love the power she brings. You can see she's getting a little more rigid in her stride, kind of tightening up a little bit as the drive went on. She was a contender right away because I like her width, I like her power. Really opened up and has a lot of width of body. She's just getting a little tight right now, a little short in her step, a little tighter in her stride. A couple of these other gilts just to comment on. The spotted gilt, the tremendous bone, just needs to be opened up a little bit in terms of her center body and skeleton. The Duroc gilt that went out got a little steeper out of her rump. I like her depth of rib. She got a little steeper out of her rump. And then there was a nice kind of white blue-bodied gilt there that was really level, real correct, just needed to be a little wider structured. So congratulations, guys.
Okay, next class, Market Barrel Purebred. I'll give you a list of names. So I got Emily Zukowski, Chloe Steyer, Cooper Kitchener, Ben Steyer, Brian Steyer, Garrett Kitchener, Megan Prochnow, Nate Edwards, Emmy Edwards. This is Market Barrels Purebred.
Yeah, whenever you need a break, just let me know. And then we can have somebody go get us some waters. We've already covered this one and then and
Oh, I got Chloe Steyer here and I got Chloe Steyer.
he needs to wait for a class.
Oh, next.
Okay, so it looks good.
231.
So I need my pen. Got it.
We got another bird coming over here. bring them if you want. No, you can bring them. It's okay. It's all right. You brought it this far, you might as well finish the game. Yeah. Kyle, we got one more coming.
Not yet. This must be Purebred Market Barrel or
You'd have to invite
Crossbred.
Tina and Paula over there. I don't have any. Chad, you got one coming.
What's in the next class?
Okay, the next class is Purebred Market Barrels Heavies. So Chloe's got two of them.
Volcano and both Durocs.
Then I can read off the names.
We're all good.
Okay, so on deck would be Purebred Market Barrels Heavyweights. Chloe Steyer has two. Paige Oth, Abby Powers, Mariah Creaser, Katie Steinmeier, and Addie Grossbeyer is in the next class. Is he all right with a fist bump if the kids come instead of shaking hands?
Oh, he's fine with anything. He's not a big COVID believer.
Real nice set of barrows here. A lot of differences down the line. Maybe a little bit of a weight spread amongst these lighter weight hogs. And then we get into some barrows at the end down there that are just maybe struggling a little bit from a structure standpoint, have some joint issues and a little arthritis in a couple of them. So, but I think when you get these pigs out here and you kind of find the ones that have that extra style, that extra pizzazz, they're clean-headed, tall-fronted barrows that have enough shape and have a fresh look to them. I think these two kind of come to the forefront. There's a big weight spread between these two, the way it looks to me, but anyway, but they have the same kind of build, and I like them both in terms of their extra look and style they bring out here to the ring. The Yorkshire is going to be our first place winner in this class. I think when that pig entered the ring, it was kind of a, he was the one to beat. He's big bone, he's got big feet underneath him. He's really jacked up in his front end with some extra extension from his blade forward. And he's got a nice shape and turn down his top. If I was just going to make this guy better, he's kind of got a typical Yorkshire deal. He just kind of maybe gets a little flat, maybe a little flat to the lower seat of his pants there, and that sometimes is a Yorkshire issue. But far as bone, stoutness, ruggedness, and really good fresh look down his top, that one was the one that was hard to beat out here. Like this Duroc hog, I think this red hog's pretty good in terms of his extra look from the front. You know, we got a bunch of Durocs in this class, and one of the deals with Duroc barrels sometimes is their hind legs will tend to just go out on them as they get a little bit bigger. But I think this guy of the Duroc barrels, he handled himself the best in terms of his hock structure. He was the soundest one of the group, and he's fresh. He's actually fitted real nicely. Good hair coat on the barrel. He's been worked with a little bit at home. Got a good look. He just wasn't quite as opened up as the York. Maybe wasn't quite as big and stout. Another York in the class is going to end up third, young man. I love the guy's look from the side, and we can kind of walk him out. We'll get a good look at him. Love him from the side. He's really balanced, really attractive. Just needs to be sprung open quite a bit more to get around those barrels ahead of him. But he's best views from the side. You just like to see him a little more muscular and opened up. The spot barrel has enough hip. He's got enough stifle muscle. He's got enough sheer muscle product. He just gets a little off in his rump. You can see he drops his tail set in there a little low. He gets a little bit off in his hip. Doesn't balance up quite as well. But that's a muscle hog. Plenty of product in this pig. The red barrel that comes in next just needs to kind of start handling his hind legs. So we're going to say that about a few of these barrels down here. This guy was extra heavy bone though. He's got a lot of stoutness through his chest. He's opened up in his shoulder pretty good. He's got some power up front. Just needs to handle those rear legs a little bit better. He's just getting a little bit goofy there. The Berkshire Barrel that comes here next, he's probably just a tick freer moving than maybe the barrel that even went out ahead of him. Well, a composition is what concerns me about him. He's got a little more condition up over his top. He's a little bit more condition in his lower 1/3. Like to just lean him up a little bit. The Duroc Barrel that comes here next, you can see he's starting to want to chop his rear legs just a little bit more than I'd like. Certainly he's got enough bone. He's lean enough. Just needs to be a little freer there as he goes off his rear legs. And the barrels that conclude the class, those barrels unfortunately have some rear leg issues that's causing them to be a little bit more stiff as they get around the ring out here. I don't mind them in terms of their width. They actually both come at you pretty good up front and have some power up in their shoulder and blade. It's just the way they move off those hind legs that makes it a little harder for them to get around out here. So congratulations on a nice class. In fact, congratulations for showing purebred barrels. I really, really do admire that you went out and tried to find some good purebred hogs. So congratulations, guys.
Winning that class is Emmy Edwards. And then Andrew Zukowski took second. Next we have is heavyweight purebreds, Chloe Steyer, Paige Oth, Abby Powers, Mariah Creaser, Katie Steinmeier, Addie Grossmeyer, and Chloe Steyer.
And again, you're watching the Dunn County Swine Show this morning on our live stream at WRDN 1430 AM and 107.3 FM, and also on our YouTube channel at Duran Broadcasting. Thank you to Shannon Crop Services, Wisconsin Credit Union Business Loans and Service, Cyforth Auction Mondovi, Countryside Co-op, Animal Wellness Center, Buffalo Valley, Value Implement Menominee, Synergy Co-op, Annabis Silo, Martin Transport, Compeer Financial, Hurlburt Heating and Plumbing, Osteoplastics, Bruner Seeds, Dunn Energy, Sunny Skies CBD, West Wisconsin and 24/7 Telcom, and Anderson Agribusiness, your Pioneer Seeds representative in Menominee. Please thank all of our sponsors. These are the businesses that made our live stream possible today here on our Facebook page and also on our YouTube channel at Duran Broadcasting. If you missed yesterday's beef show or the Thursday dairy show, those are also available on our YouTube channel at Duran Broadcasting.
Okay, so next class is Market Barrel we'll do Champion after this of the purebreds. And then next class is Crossbred Market Barrels, Lightweights. Andrew Zukowski, Caden Homestead, Emily Zukowski, Mariah Creaser, Braden Wolf, Chloe Oth, Chloe Doomer, Chloe Steyer, Addie Grossbeyer, and Katie Steinmeier. That's the next class on deck. We have champions next. You got a little time, but just so you know.
How many? 5, 6?
We hire.
Well, this one's not easy. There's just so much give and take amongst these top 4 barrows, and kind of where you want to lay down and put your priorities. You can swap these top 4 quite a bit. I guess to me, I thought when you get these 4 out here, there's 2 more robust open up pigs, and then there's maybe 2 more side view profile kind of pigs that are going to sit 3rd and 4th. So it's just kind of where you want to lay your priorities. I thought to me that these 2 just came at you with just way more sheer power. They're way more busted open in terms of their center body and rib. And when you get behind these two, there's just quite a bit more hip, quite a bit more muscle power in both these barrels. I'm going to go ahead and use the young lady over there with the Yorkshire Barrel to be first place. We saw her earlier today in the Explorer division. You know, this pig to me is really genuine. I think he weighs around 290. He's at his kind of that ideal end point for maybe where you'd want a barrel. But you get up over the top of this barrel, and he by far is the fresh-backed one. You can just see it. He has a groove down his back. It's fresh. It's laid in there deep. His chine bone's laid in there deep. This guy looks really honest and real. He's not the best pasturing one. I'd like to kind of raise him up on his front feet just a little bit, and there's no perfect barrel in here, so that's where the give and take starts to become, kind of where you want to decide what you want to do. But he's got a big hip in him. His tail's jacked up high. He's big-legged, big-boned. He's not the prettiest one, like I said. His front pastures are a little bit low. He's kind of got a big skull on him. He doesn't have that ultra slick head on him like some of these show pigs will have. But he's genuine, he's honest, he's real world, and he's got the best top shape of any barrel in the class. And he's got the best fresh look in terms of sheer muscle of any barrel in the class. The Duroc Barrel, I kind of was intrigued by this guy, and I would like to see him about 25 pounds ago because he is an opened-up barrel in his own right. He's a little past 12 o'clock today in terms of that composition factor, but he's a wide-chested guy. He's got an opened-up forerib. He's big in terms of his center rib cage. There's some roundness to his body shape. He does do somewhat, a lot of Duroc barrels will tend to do, you see him walk off those rear legs, you'd like to square him up from his hock to the ground just a little bit. Front 2/3 on this guy are tremendous. Again, maybe just a little past prime in terms of sheer composition and lean muscle mass. The Berkshire Barrel that comes here next. Whoa. The Berkshire Barrel here comes in next. The young lady's spot on in terms of driving one. I really appreciate that. She can really get this guy stuck and showed. He's really jacked up. I love it. He'd be one that he'd look good on a picture because he's so good from the side view. But you get a good look at this guy coming at you and going away. He just needs to be blowed apart. He just needs to be wider at the ground. He needs to be just more sheer dimension from end to end. He just comes up a little narrow in terms of sheer skeletal width. Side view's good. Levelness is good. He's actually lean enough at his 10th rib. There's some things I really like about this barrel. I just didn't see him opened up enough in terms of sheer skeletal width at the ground to get him higher. But that's a good barrel. Here's another good one, and another kind of a picture kind of pig. That's the side view profile we're gearing for, but we need a little bit more width as well in these pigs to really put those hogs together. His front end, his neck, and he's got that really stylish, cool look up front. He's tall in his blade, but you can see as he turns the corner and goes away, he's just not wide enough. He just needs to be more opened up at the ground, track wider off either end. You bust this guy open and have that prettiness from the side, and then you're dealing with one that can really, really beat a lot of other barrels. But I like the barrel tremendously in terms of his profile, showed real well. The next barrel that comes here next just needs a little bit more muscle expression. He gets a little stale right over the top of his back there. His chine bone is coming up just a little bit. I like to freshen this guy up. He's pretty enough. He's cool enough in his front end. He's got some extension and levelness. Just needs to be probably just a little more expressive. And then we finish with some barrels here at the end that just need a little more muscle expression. They get a little flatter, a little plainer in terms of muscle shape. They need to just be squared up a little bit down their top. Good enough in terms of depth of body. They have some center rib in them. Just need to be a little more expressive. So congratulations. Nice set of hogs here. Good job.
Winning that class was Katie Steinmeier with her Yorkshire Barrel. Coming in second was Chloe Steyer with her Duroc. Next is Champion Purebred Barrel. Okay, announcement. I need for anybody that does not have a green wristband to come on over here and get one. It's one of the requirements that in order for us to do the show, everybody that does not have one, including you ringmen, just come and grab and get your tag on. And then we're bunching up a little bit over here, so if you don't have any active part on showing, just make sure you just spread out. And this is coming from the fair board. We're just trying to do things so that we can run this without ruffling too many feathers. So that's all I'm asking. Make sure you get a wristband.
Whoever wins, whoever gets second place.
Well, it's been a good purebred drive, and I really appreciate the young people for showing purebred barrows. In current times, a lot of kids like to gravitate to crossbred steers and crossbred lambs and do the crossbred thing because it's fun and it's exciting. But I still have a lot of feeling in my heart for kids that like purebred hogs and want to try to make a purebred look as good as a champion crossbred would be. And I really admire that these young people went out and found purebred hogs to show. I think it's really, really good. I think if you look across the ring, all these hogs are certainly going to be competitive anywhere at any county fair because they have some of the build and the structure and some of the fundamentals that would make them competitive under a variety of judges. They're wide-based hogs that move pretty good off both ends of their skeleton. They have center body and rib. They're opened up. You can see they're all showed really well. They've been fitted really well at home. The hair coat and the freshness to their skin and their top looks really good on all these barrels. So those little things also help too. Besides having a good animal, it's getting them ready too as well as far as all the things you do at home. So congratulations to everybody. I think it's close out here between the two white barrels obviously down there. I think they were the ones that were more opened up in their classes. They were good-looking hogs. They had some balance to them. But I think there's one that just kind of has that little extra show pig look. The young lady, the older young lady down there that won the first class of purebreds, she'll have your champion purebred hog. Let's give her a nice round of applause. And for reserve will be the younger lady down there that won the second class. Congratulations to both of you. Good job.
Winning champion purebred market hog Emmy Edwards, and getting reserve is Katie Steinmeier. Congratulations, ladies. Okay, next in the ring, we'll be going with lightweight market barrels crosses. I'll read through the names again. Andrew Zukowski, Caden Homestead, Emmy Zukowski, Mariah Creaser, Braden Wolf, Chloe Auth, Chloe Doomer, Chloe Steyer, Addie Grossbeyer, and Katie Steinmeier. Crossbred market barrels, lightweights.
You see anybody? Lightweights? Victoria? Yeah. First class. So these are 222 to 245. Right. Okay.
Can I see what number it is that Chloe has to bring in? Which?
Not yet anyway. We haven't got into cross.
Chloe's are right here.
Chloe's
So that's 78.
Arthritis. I got arthritis. Oh, can you? Just crashing out here in the ring. Try to rock and roll. You in this class? Ring help. What? Ring help. I do it all. One thing being a team.
We got a tag. Did you get tagged? No. You got to tag and notch him, put a number. 4 litter and big number 1. It's gonna hurt a little, okay? And I need another one for. Here you go. You got one.
Where does that go? I don't want the sheriff kicking me out of town.
No, we gotta. This is all we have
I'm going to be kicked out. I'm going to be kicked out for something I've done, like really good.
Right. Like a bar scuff.
So how many's in this class? There are 10. 10? Okay.
Haley needs to be rolled down. He took one for you. Oh, you need one. Who's that one going to, Jim?
That one's going to Kylie Andres. Kylie.
Just put down my E5955. County Road K for now.
Okay. And then Haley Stayer.
Boom, and we got
Haley Stayer.
Haley. Yep. We got Haley down there.
Uh-oh.
Address
Can I get a bottle of water?
Yeah.
882.
There's some right there. That bottle was taken.
Well, I got one that's warm.
Yeah. Or 705 704 1044.
Very good. Okay. Thank you.
They didn't make you wear wristbands yesterday?
No, you got a lot more people here.
On deck with class number 5. On deck, class number 5 is Ellie Biesterveld,
Which one's coming away?
Ed Weinzerl, Chloe Doomer, Abby Powers, Brandy Berg, Brenna Berg, Randy Berg, Ellie Biesterveld, Maya Hayden, John Klefsted, and Steele Schaefer. That will be the next class. You need one or you good?
Can you find the winner? Really good set of barrows here as we start off the crosses, and we're going to get into some tough classes. If this is an indication of how good we're going to see, you know, wait till we get to kind of those upper weights, and I think we're going to really get into some good ones. There's two that look alike, and then maybe the young man over there with the solid-bodied colored barrel there's a little bit different. I'm going to keep these two together in the top pair, and I'm going to go ahead and use the young lady right in front of me to kind of start this initial drive. She's got a horse out here in a pony race, you know. Just a stout one from end to end, big legs, big bone. He's got a big top in him. If I was going to maybe just tweak him a little bit, it's where the other young lady's barrel does have a slight advantage. The other young lady's barrel has a little neater head, neck, and jawline in him. The first place barrel just a little bit short-fronted. but that's being pretty critical of a really stout one. He's so opened up. He's so bold in his center. The other young lady here we've seen already today, she'll be second. Real square barrel that's level out of his hip. He's not quite as good there right from his hock to the ground. You see he wants to kind of bow those legs just a little bit. Just like to see him a little more sure-footed when you get right behind him. But he's big in his top. He's really level, and he's got a really square look. The solid black barrel that went out in third, one I like in terms of length of body. He just wasn't quite as bold in his forerib, wasn't quite as wide base as the first two, but that was a good barrel. Then we move down, we can go in the fourth place barrel right here. Then the fifth place barrel just went out, and we can talk about him quickly. But this young man does a great job showing him. I like the fitting on this barrel, the skin and the hair, and he's got them nice and black and like you want them hamp barrels to be. And so he's done a good job getting them ready. Just needs to be more massive. He's really level, really sound. Just needs to be more massive in terms of bone and foot size and width to get around those top two. But he's really good looking from the side. Great balance, real level. Just needs to be opened up. The one that just went out needed a little more rib, but I really like the muscle expression of the barrel that went out over there. The solid white barrel here, good muscle expression. Gets a little bit more awkward off those rear legs. I like to true him up. This guy here has plenty of bone, but he gets a little twisty there too, right from his hock to the ground. I like to see him a little more sure-footed, but he's stout, he's wide, he's got a big hip. Just need to square him up just to make him a little more free. This guy here is really pretty from the side, level, tall, extended. Just needs to have more muscle mass to move up in the class. He's got the profile, he's got the balance. He just needs to be a little more muscular. Same could be said about the barrel that comes next, the blue butt there. They're nice, balanced hogs from the side. They just need to be more powerful, unfortunately, and opened up. And the white barrel that concludes the class probably has a little more condition on him than ideal. He's a little looser down in his lower 1/3, a little more neck and looseness of jowl up there. But he's got plenty of a top. Just need to see him a little more free underneath. So nice set of pigs. Congratulations as we start off the Crossbreds.
Winning that class was Addie Grossbeyer. Second place was Katie Steinmeier. Next we have the middleweights. I'll read off the names again. Ellie Biesterveld, Eddie Weinzerl, Chloe Doomer, Abby Powers, Brandy Berg, Brianna Berg, Brady Berg, Ellie Biesterveld, Maya Hayden, John Klefsted, and Steele Schaefer. The next class that is on deck, next class on deck of Market Barrel medium heavies, Zach Evenson, Josephine Weinzerl, Nate Edwards, Kaya Hayden, Hunter Roberts, Zach Evenson, Daniel Zukowski, William Wanish, and Ashton Greenwell. Showmanship prizes are donated to People's State Bank. Also want to recognize People's State Bank. They gave a donation for the showmanship classes. We got some pig whips and show sprays and a bucket, a nice donation. So People's State Bank, we thank them very much.
Real nice drive here. We're moving into that kind of that ideal size, I guess, for a market hog, and so you're starting to see some, pigs that are really at their peak in terms of freshness and just that extra bloom you get there at the end of sometimes of feeding these pigs. And so really nice barrows out here. I'm going to go ahead and use kind of the gray-headed pig there in front that's got a few dots on his head. Better do that, huh? I don't want the sheriff to show up. Really an outstanding pig in terms of just overall balance. She does such a nice job putting that pig on the whip and just getting him to kind of show off his strengths. He's by far the best moving barrow in terms of feet and legs, and you've heard me talk a lot about that already today. He's so free and easy in his movement. He hooks his tail set up nicely. He reaches out like an athlete out there. There's probably pigs that have more muscle in terms of just volume of muscle, but his shape is good. He's got a fresh look down his top, and he's got enough hip. I think we'll probably see more that have more center spread to their ham than him, but he's certainly fresh, and he balances so nice. I'm going to use the solid red barrel in second there. This one really matches the type nicely. He's really elevated through his front end. He's extended from his blade forward. He's not quite as extra good in the way he moves off his feet and legs as the winner was today, and that kind of put this pig in second. But he matches that winning pig very well in terms of that extra length of body, that height at the top of his shoulder, the freshness to his top. Then I'm going to use the solid black barrel over there in the corner the gentleman has with the white feet on him. If this guy was a little better off his rear legs, then I think he could be really competitive, because that barrel over there is really heavy bone. He's opened up in his shoulder really well. He's very muscular. He's a little soft on his pasterns, and he gets a little bow-legged behind. This guy right here, he's maybe the heaviest muscle barrel we had in class. He's really wide in his shoulder, big old hip in him, and he's got a tabletop in him. He just gets a little bit too funky on his front legs. He's kind of walking on 4 flat tires out here. Just like to see him a little better in terms of structure, but he's a powerful bear in terms of muscle. Here's one that's got a lot of bone. He's really rugged, a real durable, sturdy kind of pig. He just gets a little steeper out of his rump. He's not quite as flashy up through his front end, maybe not quite as truly lean down his top as those that beat him. Here's a really big muscled, heavy hammed hog that's got a lot of power. He may be arguably with that other one. These two are the two heavy muscled ones of the class. This guy just gets a little short bodied, a little smaller frame than ideal, but really a lot of muscle in that pig. And it still is kind of a market division. Here's a bigger frame, longer body barrel that just needs to be a little bit more stout in terms of bone and foot size to add along with that frame and length he has. Kind of needs a little more in terms of bone and foot size. This guy here has a nice deep rib, just needs to be a little leaner down his top. This guy here has enough leanness, but his hind legs concern me just a little bit. I like to see him a little more free and mobile. The white pig that comes here next gets a little frail. He's certainly lean enough, but he's a little frailer bone. He may be one of the kind of the lighter bone hogs of the class. I like to just see him wider at the ground, but certainly enough leanness. And then the guy that finishes the class, he's probably a pig that's got a little more condition than ideal from a market hog standpoint. Nice set of pigs. Congratulations, everybody.
Winning that class is Abby Powers. Second place is Brianna Berg. Next in the ring is medium heavies. Zach Evenson, Josephine Weinzerl, Nate Edwards, Kaya Hayden, Hunter Roberts, Zachary Evenson, Daniel Zokowski, William Wanish, Ashton Greenwell. On deck, rounding off with heavyweight crossbred barrels will be Paige Oth, Braden Wolf, Garrett Beesterville, Kira Prochnow, and Ashton Greenwell. There's 5 pigs in our heavyweight market barrel crossbred class. That's next.
Well, this one's kind of a challenge. You know, you have 3 really high quality kind of barrows out here, but all different, uniquely different. And they maybe isn't one of these 3 that just I would term as ultra complete. They all have maybe some place I'd like to improve them, but they're very good. They're high-end kind of hogs, just a little different. You know, the one that's really shapely and the one that's really extended and kind of has a really fresh top is the young man out there. What he needs is his barrel needs quite a bit more bone, you know, just to kind of balance him up. He's so big up top and he's so massive, but you get down on his underpinning, he's kind of got a little feet on him and he needs more bone and foot. And then the black-headed barrel over there, I think he's probably the most current and modern type of barrel in terms of where that show pig industry is going. He's tall-fronted, he's elevated, huge legs, big feet underneath this guy. But he doesn't have enough shape. You know, you'd like to just see quite a bit more expression and raw shape in that guy. He's got the skeletal foundation. He's got the look. He's got that extra tall front. He just needs quite a bit more shape. And then the blue butt barrel, he's the one I like best in terms of rib and body. You know, he's got that bold front end in him, and the blue butt's got that bold forerib in him. He's got big legs. He comes at you real stout, but he's not as pretty as some of these other barrels. His head's kind of jammed back in him a little bit. He's got a little crestier pole at the top of his neck, so he doesn't have that, you know, that neat head like the black-headed barrel does. So there is a lot of give and take, but, you know, going back to what we've tried to do, finding hogs that are square-built, hogs that are opened up, hogs that are good enough looking from the side, I think you just got to fall on that blue butt barrel to start the class just because I think he has the fewest holes in him. I can't pick on him as much as the others. He's a solid winner in the class. That barrel is going to be your first place individual. Second's going to go down here to the corner to the kind of the unique one. if I could just see this guy with bigger feet, more massive legs, and just a stouter look to him. He's plenty cool enough to look at from the side. He's sound enough. He's got a fresh shape to his top. Just looks a little bit kind of off in terms of just that complete look because he's just a little frailer boned. But that's a good kind of pig. Now, if I could take this one home and kind of, sharpen up his top a little bit, bloom him up with some extra vitamin P, I think this guy could be pretty good. He's got them big legs. He's got that really level look to him. Just a little plain muscled, unfortunately. But I like that Barrow's foundation extremely well. This guy coming out next, is just a solid middle of road hog. I don't think he's quite correct enough to get above the Barrel. That beat him one spot up. But he definitely needs to be right there at the top in the class because he has some shape, muscles, good hip in him, just kind of a little bit off in his top line. This guy right here gets a little bit squishy on his pasterns. He breaks right behind his shoulder a little bit more than I'd like, but he's long body, he's level hip. He's got a nice look to him, too, in terms of his hip and hind leg. This guy here, I like to clean him up through his jowl, his lower 1/3, and just kind of tighten him up in his look just a little bit. He gets a little flat, a little soft down there. Plenty of rib, plenty of body, just like to see him a little bit better. This guy here's got just a little bit too much grease on him, unfortunately. To me, I like to just freshen up his top, change his composition just a little bit. I think there's just a little more on him. But he's definitely got some width and power, no question about that. The white Barrel that comes here next just needs a little more width, a little more power and bone. He's certainly elevated, just gets a little frailer bone, a little bit more flatter in his rib shape. So nice set of hogs. Congratulations.
Winning that class, actually with first and second, was Zach Evenson. First and second. Okay, next is our heavyweight crossbred market barrels. We got Paige Oth, Braden Wolf, Garrett Biesterveld, Kira Prochnow, and Ashton Greenwell. 5 in the heavyweight market barrel class. Also give a little recognition to our donors to the feed pans that all the kids got. Generous donation from White Ranch, Pember Companies, Bagoon Feed and Seed, Synergy Co-op, Dunn Energy, Northtown Ford, and Timber Inn. Let's give them a nice round of applause for their generous donation. Thank you very much.
And again, you are watching the Dunn County Fair Swine Show today on our Facebook page and also our YouTube channel at Duran Broadcasting. And thank you to our sponsors as well, including Anderson Agribusiness, our Pioneer Seeds representative in Menominee, Wisconsin, and 24/7 Telcom. Also Sunny Sky CBD, Duran, Dunn Energy, Bruner Seeds, Osteoplastics, Hurlburt Heating and Plumbing, Compeer Financial, Martin Transport, Annabis Silo, Synergy Co-op, Value Implement Menominee, Animal Wellness Center Buffalo Valley, Countryside Co-op, Cyforth Auction Mondovi, Wisconsin Credit Union Business Loans and Services, and Shannon Crop Services. Please thank all of our sponsors. They've made our broadcasts on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel from the Dunn County Fair possible. So please, we can't stress this enough, please thank our sponsors for making these live streams possible. If you missed the Dairy and Beef Show yesterday, visit our YouTube channel at Duranda Broadcasting for more information on that.
Okay, after this class, we will have the Champion Market Barrel Crossbred. So back to the ring. We'll need the lightweights, which will be Addie Grossmeyer and Katie Steinmeier. Then in the next class, we need Abby Powers and Brianna Berg. And then, Zach, you got the 2 pigs next.
Again, if you missed our dairy or beef live streams, you can also visit our YouTube channel, Durand Broadcasting. Like and subscribe there at Durand Broadcasting on YouTube. We have our dairy and our beef shows from the last couple of days there, and you can watch those as well if you missed them.
sometimes when you get to this heavier weight market hog, it's a kind of a plus and negative kind of thing. You really, the plus side is they grew well, and that's kind of what production hogs are about, particularly out in the commercial industry. They do want them to grow well and get out of your finishing barns as soon as they can. But sometimes it can be a negative in the show pig world because sometimes they grow so fast they start to put on a little more extra condition than a lot of the show judges would prefer. So there is sometimes in these heavyweight classes some pluses or minuses, but 290 to 300, that's still an acceptable market size now. A lot of finishing hogs are hitting the shackles at that weight, so it's not that, as long as they stay lean and can give you a good carcass composition, that's a desirable trait. First place in this class is one that I think kind of puts a lot of good things together. He's very shapely. He's one of the leaner hogs at this weight. He stayed pretty sound. Young man going across the middle there, in the green checkered shirt there. Let's give him a nice round of applause. He's going to win this last class. That barrel weighs 290, so he maybe even could have caught the last edge of that last class. That's a good pig. Really, down his top, you can see a nice lean shape. He's got a groove down his top. He's lean at his 10th rib. I think his carcass merit's going to be really good. He's also one of the more stylish pigs out here in terms of just that extra extension through his head and neck. I'd like to maybe see him a little freer. You watch him walk. He's just a tick choppy as he goes off both ends, but nonetheless, a good solid place to start the class. Second's going to be right here with you, young lady, with your blue butted barrel there. Good solid hog. He stayed lean. He's good and fresh down his top. He's not maybe quite as expressive down his top. He's lean enough down his top, and he can match the leanness of the first place barrel, but maybe not quite as truly shapely and massive right there from his shoulder to his hip. But that's a good solid barrel. I liked a lot of features. That kind of barrel is always going to be competitive in any kind of class at any kind of fair. Third place is going to go the young man right here in front with this wide-bodied. That barrel's got a little more condition than I'd like, but he is fundamentally a wide-structured hog. He probably would have looked pretty good back there 3 weeks ago because he's wide at the ground. He's square in his rib shape. Today, though, he's got just a little bit more condition than ideal, but he's got some fundamentals of width and power and bone that I really like. Next is going to go to you, young lady, with kind of the taller, longer barrel. We'll conclude with the other kind of bigger frame barrels. Two barrels for their added size, and I do like the fact that they grew well, but with that added size, they just need a bit more muscle. They get a little flatter through their hip, a little flatter through the base of their ham. So nice set of hogs. Congratulations, guys. Keep up the good work.
First place was Braden Wolf. Second place was Paige Off. Now our champion round of the Crossbred Market Barrows. So bring your first and second place. So what we need is Addie Grossmeyer and Katie Steinmeier, Abby Powers, Brianna Berg, Zach with your 2, and then Braden, you're out here, and Paige, you're out there too. Showmanship sponsors want to go through the list. There's a few more added to the list here. So we got People's State Bank, Geezy Show Pigs out of Alma Center, Edward Show Pigs out of Colfax, Winmore Show Pigs, and Soulquest Show Pigs. Thank you very much for your generous donation. Addie Grossmeyer, there you are. So on deck, after this is named, we'll need Emmy Edwards with her champion Purebred Barrel, and then Katie Steinmeier.
Well, those around ringside enjoying the nice day, let's put our hands together and congratulate these young people as they drive for champion Crossbred Barrel. I really do commend them for their hard work and effort. If you look around the ring, you know, you see the culmination of what it takes to make barrows or show pigs good. First of all, the selection back in April when you went out and kind of picked these pigs and looked through probably a lot of them on sales. You probably tried to find the ones that you were excited about and the ones you thought could grow into something when they get to their endpoint today, the ones that you kind of thought had the genetics and the look to go on. And then from there, you know, nowadays it's a lot of work to really feed the barrels correctly. It's almost a science, you know, blending feed additives, blending different things together. And then when you get good weather and the snow's off the ground, you might start getting them outside and training them a little bit to the whip. And you could see that's what it takes anymore. You know, back when I was a little kid, we would just go to the finishing floor and grab a couple barrows and go to the county fair. But that's not the way this game is played anymore. It's a fast racetrack. Preparation is the key. And I look, you know, you look around the ring, the showmanship of these pigs is really good. They're getting their heads up, and that's important. You know, right away I kind of fought that 10 years ago as a judge. But you know, it does make the pigs just to look a little bit more stylish when you can kind of get their heads up and show them off a little bit. And so you could see that there. The skin and the hair is a big part of it nowadays. Making sure that the skin is hydrated, the skin looks soft. It makes your pig look fresh. It makes them look kind of have that fresh kind of look to them. And then, you know, how you handle the whip, all that stuff's important. Even though it's a live show and it's not showmanship, showmanship is a big part. Especially in the pig arena, you can move your pigs up a bunch of spots in a show if you can get them showed. And then now when we look through these pigs, you know, hopefully you can kind of see some similarities. It was hard. Some of these classes had quite a bit of variety, but, you know, I like pigs that have a good square build to them, hogs that are good on their feet and legs, hogs that have enough bone. They don't have to be super heavy bone, but they got to have enough bone where it matches their body, where all the things look the same, and kind of matches everything together. Then when I look down their tops, they better have a little bit of a groove. They better have that chine bone laid in, so that tells me that the kids did a good job feeding them and they kept them fresh. And then from there on, as they walk away, hopefully they're square on their hind legs and they take a good free stride. Put all that together, I think there's one barrel that is really, really good on his feet and legs. There's one barrel that can just float like Ali out here. He just can go, 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 go. He's got enough shape. He's got enough look. He's maybe a tick lighter than the others, but I think he's definitely put together as good as they are. Young lady going across the ring here with our blue butt, our kind of black hip barrel. You're going to be champion barrel today. Let's put our hands together for her champion crossbred. That guy is really good in terms of feet and legs, and if you could get him another 15 pounds on that guy, just to mass him up a little bit. But he's so athletic, and he's got a fresh shape to his top, and just big feet underneath this guy. Puts a lot of things together. So let's get the second out in that class. where was that? We'll get the second place barrel out to her, and we'll compete for reserve.
Brianna Berg.
For reserve champion, now we have the red barrel that comes out here to contend for reserve, the kind of that up-eared red barrel. He's really shapely. He's probably one of the more fresh and honest pigs in terms of just composition. He's lean, he's expressive. I didn't feel he was quite sound enough off his hind legs to get around the champion today within that class, but that's a good kind of barrel nonetheless. For reserve champion, it's going to come down to this barrel right in front of me, and it's going to be between him and the blue bud. I think they're close. I really like the design of this pig. He's 240. They're probably going to want to show him at 265 if there's another show left in this guy, because he's kind of one of those medium-sized barrels. But his tail set is really nice and high. He's got a tremendous amount of bone and foot size. I guess if I was going to just tweak the guy just a little bit, I'd extend him just a little bit. He's not the kind of pig that's going to be able to go to those heavyweight classes because he's not quite long enough fronted, but he's going to fit really nicely in those medium weight classes if there's a few more shows left in this guy. Super level hip, big legs on the guy, a lot of rib. The blue butt barrel's in contention because I like the front two-thirds of that guy extremely well. I know he's a little marked up right now, but what I mean by the front two-thirds is not his neck. It's his chest, it's his bone, it's his forearm. He comes at you like a he-hog. He's really stout when he comes at you. His forerib is really opened up and busted open. His hip ain't quite right. He's a little bit steep out of his rump, causes that hind leg to do something a little bit funky there underneath him. But the front two-thirds of that guy is extremely good. Close pair for reserve. Second place today, reserve champion Cross will be the lightweight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Reserve champion goes to Addie Grossbeyer. Champion, Abby Powers. Reserve, Addie. Now we'll bring in the purebred market barrel. So I got Emmy and Katie. We're going to do that at the end, okay? We're going to hold that off, okay? Edwards, Grossbeyer. We're going to have an overall champion, so we'll bring the purebred market barrels back at the end, along with Addie and Abby, okay? So these can all go back. Go next in the ring, we have Purebred Market Gilts. We got Ben Steyer, Chloe Steyer, Steele Schaefer, Brian Steyer, Garrett Kitchener, and Nate Edwards. We got Purebred Market Gilts.
And again, you're watching the Dunn County Fair Swine Show. Thank you to our sponsors on our live stream, including Anderson Agribusiness, our Pioneer Seeds representative in Menominee, West Wisconsin and 24/7 Telecom, Sunny Sky CBD, Dunn Energy, Bruner Seed, Osseo Plastics, Hurlburt Heating and Plumbing, Compeer Financial, Martin Transport, Enibus Silo, Synergy Co-op, Value Implement, Menominee, Anima Wellness Center, Buffalo Valley, Countryside Co-op, Cyforth Auction, Mondovi, Wisconsin Credit Union Business Loans and Services, and Shannon Crop Services. Please thank all of our sponsors. Again, without the support of these businesses, we would not be able to bring you live stream coverage of the Swine Show today here on our Facebook page, also on our YouTube channel at Durand Broadcasting. And again, we have the beef and dairy shows at our YouTube channel at Durand Broadcasting. Like and subscribe there, and you can watch the beef and dairy shows from Thursday and Friday.
How many are in this class?
There are 6. We need,
Steele Schaefer, if you could bring your purebred market gilt to the ring.
Yeah, I saw that. He was.
so we have you in the wrong class. You'll be the next one. So we'll just.
Then we'll have 5. 6. He's coming.
We're just waiting on Nate.
Yeah, he's there.
We're all good then.
Yeah, he'll do that right now. Yep. Winner, chicken dinner, pig dinner, pork.
So this is all our purebred market gilts, and nice set of pigs, just a little bit different, a lot of differences in weight, and so that's going to play a role because, you know, maybe the lightweight gilt unfortunately isn't quite at that ideal window in terms of market acceptability for weight, so that's going to hurt her a little bit. So, but a nice gilt just put together real well, just needs a little more time. So, you know, you look around the ring and try to find that ideal market gilt. It was quick to fall on the white gilt down there when I saw her walk in the ring. So, young man with the Yorkshire gilt, you're going to win the purebred market gilt class. Let's put him give him a nice round of applause down there for winning this class and this grouping. Length of body's real good on his gilt, real shapely down her top. There's plenty of muscle in his gilt. Like to see her be a little bit looser. She gets a little straight up in her shoulder and kind of wants to chop a little bit off both ends of her skeleton. But in this class, very muscular, very shapely, long-bodied. Definitely needs to be in first place. Second's going to go the Berkshire gilt. Real sound on her feet and legs. I think she's got a little bit more structural integrity than the remaining red hogs in the class. Probably to get around the Yorkshire, we just like to see her bigger. Like to see her at the same weight, so then we can maybe make a little better judgment, comparatively speaking. But nice, solid gilt there for second. Third place is going to go to the young man right here with the first of our 3 Duroc gilts. I thought of the 3 Duroc gilts, this one had the biggest hip. This one had the widest chest. This one had the most open forerib of the 3 gilts in the class. Next we'll go to the gentleman there in the middle with the blue plaid shirt, and we'll follow with kind of the Turkish colored shirt next. Like both these gilts, I just thought the one that's next here, the gentleman right here, his gilts just has more weight today, a little bit more performance, a little more width. Probably the final gilt in the class, maybe one of the sounder, longer striding gilts we had, but just gives up, unfortunately, some weight and some performance to the other gilts above her. So nice set of gilts in this purebred class. Good job, everybody. Congratulations.
Winning that class and then champion of the Purebred Gilt Market Gilt Show, Nate Edwards. Second and reserve, Chloe Steyer. Next in the ring is our lightweight class of Market Gilts. We need Chloe Doomer, Chloe Oth, Ryan Homestead, Chloe Steyer, Mariah Creaser, Malaya Hayden, Isabel Weinzerl, and Garrett Biesterveld. And then Steele Schaefer.
Here in this class, we're getting into some gilts that maybe are just getting, just a little bit heated up here as the temperature is rising and just get a little bit stressy. And because of that, it's not helping them because they tighten up their skeleton just a little bit more than they need to and get kind of not as free moving. To me, there was a kind of an easy class winner, to be honest. And then after that, I took a little more time to kind of make sure I felt comfortable with the remaining hogs and how I placed those. There's quite a bit of give and take after you get off the first place individual. To me, once I saw this gilt enter the ring, I kind of knew she was the one to beat, and that's the young lady's blue blanketed gilt up there, the young lady with the kind of the braid in your hair. You're going to be first place. Let's bring that gilt out kind of the middle of the ring. This one here is really neat to look at. She's actually getting a little warm here towards the end too, but she's so cushioned. You look at her front knees, it's almost like a German Shepherd, the way she can just flex off her front end. Her tail is big. She's got a really level tail head in her. Really stout and robust. That's a really nice kind of market gilt. That was the one to beat, and after that I kind of just maybe needed to study the other ones pretty hard. In second place is going to be the gentleman right in front of me here that comes across the ring with that real solid black belt of gilt. She's really fault-free. She doesn't have the mass and doesn't have all the extras that the gilt that's going to win the class has. But after you study the remaining hogs in the class, and as a judge, you're just trying to find the ones that have the fewest faults in them. This one here is really cushioned the way she moves. She's got a good sound structure off both ends. She comes at you with enough width through her shoulder. She's got enough thickness and dimension down her top. No, she's not quite as extra stout as that first place gilt in this class, but that's a good solid gilt that just kind of worked her way up because I didn't see as many holes in her as I did the remaining gilts. The blue butt gilt coming across the ring, the young ladies just battled out here. One of the better showers just keeps going and going with that gilt. That's going to be her third place gilt. She probably needs to be just a little wider at the ground. You can see her as she walks at you and goes away. She closes up just a little bit. I like to have more expansion in that gilt. But she's level, she's sound, she's correct. Good solid gilt there. Maybe doesn't have quite the muscle, particularly that the first place gilt has, but a nice solid third. Kind of the sandy tri-colored gilt there, or some people call them the calico colored gilts. Really muscular, really shapely, needs a little more foot size and bone. She stands down on a little lighter structure than some of the other gilts, but she's been fed extremely well at home because she's lean. She's got a nice shape down her top. Probably one of the better carcass composition gilts we have in the class. Just like to see a little more bone. Then the next two gilts, we can bring them out. They kind of went in together. Very muscular, very expressive, but almost to the point now it's getting them a little tight. They kind of want to really get stiff. This gilt here really throws her hind legs kind of all over the place. Just like to see her set down with a little more freedom to be that ultra complete one. The one that went out, real muscular too, just a little stiffer in the way their skeletons are put together. And then we move down the line into some gilts that just need a little bit more width. This blue butt coming next, just a little shallower. Same with the belted gilt behind her, just a little shallower in their rear flanks, a little harder, a little tighter in their rib shape. This one's certainly got a nice look from the side. She's extended necked. This one's got a long neck and tall front too. Just a little shallow, a little harder ribbed kind of pigs. Like to see a little more center body. And we finish with a couple pigs that these gilts just work their way down because they just get to be lighter muscled than the others. Certainly enough frame size in them. They're taller, longer kind of hogs. Just need a little more muscle expression to move up in this tough class. So good job, everybody.
Winning that class is Elizabeth Weinzerl, and second place was Ryland Homestead. Rounding off our crossbred market gilts, heavyweights will be Ashton Greenwell, Kai Hayden, William Wanish, Josephine Weinzerl, and Ashton Greenwell.
Right now, there are 14 in intermediate showmanship. Do you want 7 and 7, or do you want 14?
Oh, there's plenty of room out here. We'll do them all once. I'm afraid they'll wear the pigs out. If like the first one, those pigs will be shot if they got to come back. I think we do it all once to be fair to everybody. And there's plenty of room. It's a big ring. It'll work fine. Yeah, it's.
Do we want to do the bread now before the champion drive?
No, let's do it afterwards. Well, let me ask you this: Is there any that will be in the champion drive that will be inbred? No one.
I don't think so.
Because I don't want to wear those
Unless,
pigs out.
is it one of Nate's?
What a Nate's right there.
I'd hate to have them out so long by the time they get to the champion drive. Those pigs are tired. So let's do the champion before the bred known, just to make sure that the pigs as fresh as rested.
Okay, our final class, Crossbred Gilts heavyweights. I got Ashton Greenwell, Kaya Hayden, William Wanish, Josephine Weinzerl, and Ashton Greenwell again.
Of course you can. A water?
Damn it, Ted.
We'll help her. You get whatever you want. Jim will just, anything you need, Jim's got it for you. Food, money. Garbage. Make that
Okay, just a few housekeeping items that I just want to remind everybody. Upon leaving, we got to make sure that the ring is taken down, and whatever you brought, you take back with you. So any bedding, any shavings, all that stuff needs to be going back onto your truck. There is no cleanup coming afterwards. So that will get inspected probably by Tina Edwards, and she's pretty picky. So all these gates have to be put down. Everything has to be neat and tidy as part of our agreement. So make sure we get that done.
Yep, he wants purebred. Purebred.
Cross first.
No. It's overall. The champion could be two purebreds.
Right, but he has to pick the champion crossbred first.
Oh, yes. Yes. I get what you're saying. Yes. Two crossbred gilt.
Okay, so after this class, I will need back in the ring Elizabeth Weinzerl, Ryland Homestead,
They're both here.
Nate Edwards, Chloe Steyer, and then Braden Wolf and Paige Auth.
Wait, no, because we already
Sorry, that was a barrel. My bad. Braden, Paige.
picked the purebred champion, so we just need Brian, Rylan, and Garrett, and Elizabeth, and whoever wins it.
We just need the last two.
So we finish up here with our heavyweight market gilts. Another good class, a lot of variety, certainly in just the breed composition and in type and kind, but all good hogs. Looks like they grew well. Hopefully they'll harvest well with good carcass merit. The one that I like best, kind of caught my eye when she first came in, is the young man's belted gilt over there. Young man in the blue shirt there. He's going to win this last class of gilts. To me, one that's really stout in terms of width. You know, she's the heavy muscled one of the class. You look at her when she comes at you, she's robust in her body shape. Big hip in her, a lot of power. She's not perfect. I like to just tweak her hind leg set just a little bit. She's wants to bow out just a little bit at her hock, and sometimes that comes with those really massive hogs. It's hard to keep their legs underneath them perfectly, but that one's really powerful, really opened up a nice gilt to go first. Second's going to be the Yorkshire gilt that kind of came in this side of the ring, really a Yorkshire colored, I should say. She's really long-bodied, really level. She's not quite as opened up as the gilt that wins, but that's a good, sound second place gilt. You like to see as a judge a lot of your good seconds like that all day long. She's not quite as opened up and not quite as heavy muscled, but that's a good quality gilt to sit in second. Third's going to go to kind of the sandy, light red gilt in the class. I think you take her to Harvest. She's going to be one of the leaner gilts we got out here at her 10th rib when you scan them. She's got enough soundness of structure. She moves good around the ring. She just needs a little more width to compete with the two gilts that beat her, but I like her structural correctness extremely well. Next is going to go the young man's black gilt. Then we're going to conclude with kind of that speckled rumped white gilt. Both these gilts have enough frame. They're certainly long-bodied hogs. They just need a little more width. When you look at them walk at you, they're a little flatter through their shoulders, a little flatter in their rib shape. Just like to see them a little more powerful. Nice set of hogs. Congratulations, guys, as you finish up the gilt show.
Okay. Winning that class is Will Wanish. Second is Josephine Weinzerl. Now we will have the champion market gilt, Crossbred. Then overall gilt, so then we'll need then overall champion.
Nice set of market gilts here. Probably as competitive a breed or division we've had. There's 4 really high quality gilts out here. Like each of them, especially in certain areas. When it comes down to champion, I guess there's just maybe some things you got to decide. Do you really like the extra soundness and structural correctness in the bone and power of this one, or do you like the extra muscle mass, extra thickness of hip and height and ham that gilt brings there? So there's a little bit of trade-offs, I think. I'd like to really maybe redesign that one's rear leg set just a little bit, maybe raise this one ever so slightly up on her pasture. And so there's some give and take between the two, but in terms of bone, levelness of hip, and just true function, I'm going to go ahead and use the blue butt here with the blue face. She's going to be your champion market gilt today. Young man, you're not far behind her. You'll be reserved. Congratulations.
Okay, champion drive is next. So champion barrow, crossbred, champion purebred barrow. I think that's Emmy. Winning that was Elizabeth Weinzerl. Second, reserve champion, Will Wanish.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, one last good round of applause. I know we got some showmanship left, but good round of applause for the people out here that are showing these high-quality market hogs. Just so you look around the ring, these are good, solid hogs. Good competition out here, and the showmanship is notched up. You can see a lot of times the good ones are drove by great showers. It kind of all comes together. Sometimes it's kind of funny how that works. But boy, we really got some excellent showmanship going on, and these pigs are just some of them are really hitting their stride. I guess if you look across the ring, hopefully there's some resemblance. I know it's hard when you get into some smaller classes to try to find uniformity across the board, but you get them out here, and hopefully you can see what I was looking for today. Hogs that have a good look from the side, that can have a nice side view profile with a good look when they come at you, that's square and true and wide enough. And when they go away, I was really a stickler today how their hip and how their hind legs function. I think if you ever go to other barrel shows, and Salati, you do show a lot of pigs across the upper Midwest. These pigs they got to be athletes. They got to be sound on their feet and legs, and they got to really track square and true to really get to the top end of a class. So I was trying to find good sound hogs that were fresh and had a good look. There's two that kind of look alike out here for me that just have that extra extension. They're long-bodied hogs, but yet they're shapely hogs, and they can really handle their running gear extremely well. They are athletes. So champion barrel today, young lady, coming across, champion market hog, coming across the middle will be the Crossbred barrel. Congratulations. Reserve champion is one that kind of follows that same kind of shadow, tall fronted, extended through his front end, shapely up top, not quite as good right out his hip, but that's being critical of a really good one. Your champion Yorkshire Barrel is going to be reserve champion overall today. Congratulations.
Congratulations go to Abby Powers and Emmy Edwards. Next, we have Bred and Owned. Okay, for showmanship, we have Bred and Owned next. Then showmanship, we're going to go with the older group first, seniors first. Senior showmanship first. Right.
Again, good afternoon, or good morning, rather, and I hope you're enjoying our live stream of the Dunn County Swine Show. Again, thank you to our live stream sponsors, Shannon Crop Services, Wisconsin Credit Union Business Loans and Service, Slyforth Auction Mondovi, Countryside Co-op, Animal Wellness Center, Value Implement of Menominee.
So for Bred and Owned, this is what I have.
And also Synergy Co-op, Annabis Silo, Martin Transport, Compeer Financial, also Hurlburt Heating and Plumbing, and Osteoplastics, Bruner Seeds, Dunn Energy, Sunny Skies CBD, Anderson Agribusiness, our Pioneer Seeds in Menominee, and West Wisconsin, and 24/7 Telcom. Again, please thank all of our broadcast and live stream sponsors. Without their support of these businesses, we would not have been able to bring you the live stream today on Facebook and also on our YouTube channel, Dunn Broadcast or Duranda Broadcasting. And you can see a replay of the dairy and beef shows at our YouTube channel, again, at Durand Broadcasting. Like and subscribe there. And you can see the replay of the beef and dairy shows. And then later on today, the swine show will also be posted on our YouTube channel. Hope you're enjoying our live stream today of the Dunn County Swine Show.
This is a real neat division. I'm glad your fair has decided to have a bred and owned division, because a lot of fairs don't. But I think this is cool because what it does, it allows the kids to showcase what they're doing at home and raising pigs and having a few sows and farrowing those sows. That's a lot of work, and it's a lot of commitment, and it's not as easy as it was 25, 30 years ago with the new modern show pigs that tend to have a few more challenges when it comes to getting them bred, and a few more challenges when you farrow these really extreme gilts. So congratulations. And breeding hogs is kind of fun. You get the new boar stud catalog every fall, and you see the prices of those boars, and your parents probably get shocked on the prices of those boars. But it's fun picking out the boars every fall and kind of make those neat matings. So congratulations. I think bred and owned is just a tremendous class for you guys to showcase what you're doing. A lot of good hogs out here. I look back at them, and we have a breed-winning gilt out here. We have a couple barrows that were really high in their classes, respectively. So proud of you guys for making good hogs that can compete in all the classes. So I think if you look across the ring, there was one really neat barrow I saw earlier today that he still intrigues me. I just don't know if he's quite shapy, just quite that extra crispness to his top. But boy, he is structurally as good as you can make one, and I really was intrigued by him. This guy right here is my favorite bred and owned barrow out here, bred and owned hog. He's going to win the bred and owned division, the black-headed hog. Congratulations. Good job, young lady. He's really an interesting hog. I was really intrigued by him early. Second place in the bred and owned division is going to go to just a real uniform barrel that I thought, or gilt, excuse me, that I thought was real complete back in their division. Young man, the young guy out there in the green and black coming across the middle. He had a real solid second place gilt there in a tough class. He's going to be reserve bred and owned.
So winning that bred and owned was Nate Edwards, and reserve was Ryland Homestead. So we'll go right into our senior showmanship. Senior showmanship. You can come to the ring. Senior showmanship. This is what we have for senior showmanship. Paige Oth, Addie Grossbeyer, Caden Homestead, John Clefstead, Abby Powers, Kira Prochnow, Ben Steyer, Chloe Steyer, Will Wanish, Josephine Weinzerl, Andrew Zukowski, Danielle Zukowski. Senior showmanship entering the ring. Senior showmanship. Kira Prochnow, are you doing showmanship? Chloe Steyer, you're out there. I think this is a wrap on your senior showmanship. Little recognition for the showmanship sponsors. We got People's State Bank, Geezy Show Pig out of Alma Center, Edwards Show Pigs out of Colfax, Winmore Show Pigs, and Solquist Show Pigs. We got nice little gifts here of buckets and some show sprays and show whips. We thank them very much for their generous donation.
Well, those around ringside, let's put our hands together and congratulate our senior showmanship out here. You know, I can't remember how long ago it's been since I judged the swine show here. I know some of these guys were pretty little back in the day, and now they're my ring help, and they got real jobs. So, but it's been a while. But I can tell you this, the level of quality of the Dunn County Pig Show is way better than I remember. And no question, the showmanship is way better than I remember. If you look across the ring, we have people out here that I know can compete at any level of showmanship that I see in Minnesota when I judge some of their fairs, and I help out with the state fair quite a bit and the junior classic over there. And I tell you what, there's some people out here that I know can compete at the highest level. Showmanship's tough today because of the heat and because the pigs are out here maybe on an unfamiliar surface, grass, and so showmanship's even a little more challenging today than it might be at a nice air-conditioned show arena somewhere at a fair, state fairgrounds. So this is really outstanding. I guess for me, showmanship's all about the ability to get your pig put in the best position to show that judge its strong attributes. And so generally speaking, finding a proper position in the show ring, and then we got a huge show ring, so you can't complain about being crowded out here. Finding that open area, finding a nice place where you can make that pass. It doesn't always have to be directly in front of a judge. It can be at a 3/4 angle going away. It can be at a 3/4 angle coming at the judge. But finding that open spot. Next is probably nowadays keeping that head up in a nice position. That head carriage is really important. You don't want that head jacked up too high. You don't want them to have their snout down in the dirt either, so you got to find that nice position. Sometimes I see these kids get that head too high. That's kind of common now. You've been told to get the head up. You get it too high, that hind leg will come underneath those animals. It happens in cattle, it happens in all species, and they'll start chopping those hind legs. So keep that head at a proper position where their spine can be aligned and they can reach out and go off those rear legs. Then it's not overusing the whip, especially at a hot day like this. Overusing the whip can cause those animals to kind of pinken up and kind of get some marks on their shoulders. And that is actually something to think about. I know we're all livestock people around the ring. We're rural agricultural people. But if you ever do show at a big state fair in a major city, one of the most common questions we get asked at the Minnesota State Fair when I help with that 4-H show over there is people come into the 4-H office and they ask, why are these kids beating their pigs? And that's the most common question. Why are they beating them? Well, we know they're not beating them. We know they're using the whip as a way to manipulate their hogs and keep hogs away from each other, because we know if we don't have a whip, they're going to start fighting, because we use the whip as a form of protection almost to keep our pigs apart. But the common city person may not know that, and so be very aware of that when you're using that whip, that it's not a tool, it's not a weapon, it's not something to really strike hard at an animal. It's basically more of just something you use to kind of steer an animal. And how can you do that? It all starts at home. It all starts at home. You cannot show up the day of the fair and think that that animal's going to respond to that whip. You have to work them at home, and maybe the first night 2 minutes, the second night 5 minutes, the third night 10 minutes or whatever. You build them up. It's like an athlete that needs stamina, and hopefully by the week before you go to the show, you can walk that pig for a half hour or more in your backyard without that pig ever breathing heavy, without that pig showing any stress. And so then when you get out in this deal, and you got a judge that's being long-winded right now just to see what I see, your pig can still handle it. They're athletes. They're athletes. So great set of showmanship. It's really close. I watched you all day. It wasn't only based on this last 10 minutes, guys. It was based on the whole day. Who did a great job all day? Because you know what? It really matters more an hour ago. It matters more an hour ago than it maybe does now, to be really honest. Because if you did a great job an hour ago, you could have showed your pigs up 2-3 spots and maybe even flipped my mind on a pair because you outshowed the person below you. So that's really what's important. I watched you all day. You guys are outstanding. Way better than it was years ago. And it was good, but this way better now. And that's great. That's how everything is. Bigger, stronger, faster is what they say in sports. Same thing in the pig world. Bigger, stronger, faster. Congratulations, guys. My first place showman in this age group, young lady in the maroon. Second place, young lady over there. Did an outstanding job. Barrel got a little heated up here at the end. Good job. Oh, honorable mention. I'm sorry, honorable mention. Not far behind, young lady over there with the gray blanketed hog. Congratulations.
Winning Showmanship, seniors, Abby Powers, reserve, Addie Grossmeyer, honorable mention, Chloe Steyer. Intermediates, you can come to the ring. Intermediate Showmanship will be next. So what I have down for intermediate showman, I got Chloe Oth, Brady Berg, Brianna Berg, Raya Creaser, Chloe Doomer, Nate Edwards, Ashton Greenwell, Megan Prochnow, Hunter Roberts, I think Steele Scratched, Brian Steyer, Eddie Weinzerl, Elizabeth Weinzerl, Emily Zukowski.
And again, you're watching the Dunn County Swine Show today. We'll have one more class after the intermediate showmanship, and that'll be the beginning showmanship. So before that last class, we want to again thank all of our sponsors, including Bruner Seeds, West Wisconsin, and 24/7 Telecom. Also, Sunny Skies, CBD, Dunn Energy, Osteoplastics, Herbert Plumbing and Heating as well. Along with Compeer Financial, Martin Transport, Annabis Silo, Synergy Co-op, Value Implement, Menominee, Animal Wellness, Countryside Co-op, Safe Forth Auction, Mondovi, Wisconsin Credit Union Business Loans and Service, and also Shannon Crop Services. Please thank all of our sponsors. They made our live streams over the last 3 days possible here on our Facebook page and also on our YouTube channel at Dunn Broadcasting, or Durand Broadcasting, rather. We're at the Dunn County Fair, but look on our YouTube channel at Durand Broadcasting. Like and subscribe there. You can see a replay of the dairy and beef shows there. Again, on our YouTube channel at Durand Broadcasting. Just do a search for that and like and subscribe there. And you can see replay of the dairy and beef shows. We'll also have a replay of the swine show as well later on today. But we hope you've enjoyed our live streams. Again, please thank all of our sponsors that we've mentioned. Without their support, we wouldn't have been able to make this happen. Also, special thanks to the Dunn County Fair Board as well for allowing us to live stream the beef, dairy, and livestock shows, the beef, dairy, and swine shows. And again, coming up, we have intermediate showmanship, and then followed by our last class with beginning showmanship. So I hope you've enjoyed our live streams throughout the last 3 days.
Following this, you're invited to Pembers for a get-together. And I'm going to stress it has nothing to do with 4-H because it doesn't. So everybody is welcome. There will be pork sandwiches and a Euro bar. Bring your own drink, but you're all welcome to stop out at Eric and Colleen Pembers. There'll be a ball field and stuff, so if kids had a glove, there's also a swimming pool. Everybody's welcome. This is all the intermediate showmen. Okay, so also a reminder, after this, we got loadout of pigs, and we do have teardowns. So everybody sticks around, gets the pigs loaded out. That would be awesome, and we'll get the ring and cleanup taken care of also. And wrapping up with our final class of the day, on deck is beginner showman. I got Isabella Auth, Ryland Homestead, and Katie Steinmeier.
Another very competitive group of show people out here. Competition is really tough. I think there's probably 4 or 5 that I think are really catching my eye as far as doing some things right. And what I like about today and the size of this ring, it really makes it easy for showmanship because there's plenty of room to work out here, and there's plenty of room for you as a shower to try to get your pig out from behind me. There's plenty of room to try to get them out and get nice passes along the middle there and from side to side. So, take advantage of this ring, guys. I know we got some pigs that are getting kind of warmed up over here and want to go back to their pens, but if you can try to keep that pig out in the middle of the ring and go back and forth. And then as I move around, try to find that nice angle, maybe across the front of me, then a 3/4 away and a 3/4 at me. So as a judge, I can see the side view. And as a judge, I can see the front view and I can see the rear view, and you can give me all those looks. It's not always a side-by-side. Sometimes the judge does want to see the pig come at them so they can see the front end and the shoulders and the chest. So plenty of room out here. Just a couple things to consider. Maybe think about the word point of balance or the phrase point of balance. The point of balance on a pig is kind of right where that belt is on this pig right there. And I see some of you at times will want to get in front of the point of balance when you're driving your pig. Just remember that point of balance is where an animal will pause or go. In the cattle world, we know it extremely well when you're moving cattle up alleys and up chutes. But even pigs will have a point of balance. And if you get too far ahead of that pig's point of balance, sometimes that pig will want to stop and kind of pause on you a little bit. The best place to be is right off the hip, kind of on a 3/4 way off the hip, so that you're not in the judge's view of that pig, you're not crowding that pig too much. That'll allow that nice look from the side. So just think about that as you're driving the pigs, and you learn from today and you get better. Outstanding group of show people out here. I think it's pretty close. The top three are very competitive. First place, young lady in kind of that orangish red shirt. I noticed her back when she drove that pig back in class. That pig has been worked with. That pig hasn't really even opened his mouth and got heated up. That pig just goes and goes and goes like the bunny does. And so just a really impressive show person back in class. Second place is going to go to the young man with the Duroc. He probably, I didn't notice him maybe quite as much in class, a little bit, but he upped his game here a little bit towards the end. He actually took advantage of the size of the ring. He found some nice spots where I, as a judge, when I'd move and I'd turn around to get that first look, he was always in my line of sight, which is good. He followed me around. He kind of understood what was going on. Great work out there. Third's going to go the young lady with the blue butt coming across the middle. There was a couple times she drives him pretty good, that gilt pretty good. A couple times she wants to get a little forward on the gilt, and a couple times she let the gilt's nose get in the dirt, just a couple times. And in this competitive deal, sometimes those little things might play a role. But outstanding job, great work, everybody. Congratulations.
Congratulations to our champion intermediate showman, Emily Zukowski. Reserve goes to Brian Steyer. And honorable mention to Chloe Doomer. Very good job. And rounding off our last, but maybe the most important class of the day, we have our beginner showman. We got Braden Wolf. We got Katie Steinmeier. We got a Oth. And then I think a Homestead, Ryland. Isabella Oth, do you have a pig for showmanship? last but not least, we have our beginner showmanship, one of the coolest classes of the day. Also, I do again want to draw a little recognition to Derek Wolf and Deb Gottliebson for all their efforts in putting this together. Without their persistency and making it happen, this would not have happened like a lot of fairs. So again, thank you very much, Derek. Thank you very much, Deb. I think everybody, we had an awesome show. I want to thank the judge for taking time again, 2 days in a row, for being here. So I thought he's done a really nice job. Let's give the judge a very nice round of applause.
Well, thank you. You know, I have no problem coming here 2 days in a row because it's really nice to see live animals. Okay, I've been on my computer judging virtual county fairs all week, and that's interesting to have to watch a video and then try to place them and give reasons online and record it. And I'm so glad that you guys had the courage, I guess, to say, let's get these kids together, let's reward them for their hard work and effort, and I think we're going to all be all right. So, so congratulations. It's nice to see a live animal show. This is tough, I'll be honest. I know there's people around ringside watching this, and the unlucky draw of the day, I guess, is to be the last class out there because these pigs, some of them have been out here 2-3 times, and they know exactly where that out gate is. And pigs are smart animals, and once they get it in their brain that they want to go back to the pen, it's hard. It's very hard. It's happened to my kids showing. The pigs just want to go back, and you can do all you can do to try to keep them on the corner. And this young guy right here, he's going to be a heck of a football player. You see how he gets low? He gets low and he shuffles his feet already. He's learned fundamentals. We need him at St. Croix Central, all right? I tell you what, but he's working hard. Unfortunately, he's just got an unlucky pig right now that just doesn't really want to respond. But I'm proud of that. All these guys are battling, and that's really the bottom line is they got a spirit inside themselves of not to give up. That's a great human characteristics. We definitely need that now. We need kids that are tough. We need kids that are smart. We need kids that know how to work. Kids that know how to take defeat and come back and work harder. We just don't have enough of that. So outstanding group of young people. It is challenging. I'm just thinking back to what I saw earlier in the day when the pigs were fresh, when the pigs were, you know, kind of in their prime. And I kind of remember back to showmanship a little bit. The two that are going to win, and it's close and it's tough, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings here, but the two that are going to win showmanship is going to be this young man right here. His pig is a little bit unresponsive right now, as are all of them, to be honest. It's kind of close there. But back when he was showing that pig, he kind of showed that pig up. I kind of lost that pig a little bit earlier in that class. And as the class went on, and you might remember me saying, that pig just grew on me and grew on me and grew on me, and that gilt did in that tough class. And it was because of him. He kept that gilt in front of me the whole time. I give him credit. Second place, you young lady, because you got a good smile. All right, congratulations. Good work.
So our beginner showmanship, Rylan Homestead. Congratulations, Rylan. Good job. And taking reserve is Katie Steinmeier. Congratulations, Katie. Great job, all you kids. Nice show.
And that will wrap up the Dunn County Fair Swine Show today. Again, thank you to our sponsors, Shannon Crop Services, Wisconsin Credit Union Business Loans and Service, Seaforth Auction, Mondovi, Countryside Co-op, Animal Wellness Center, Value Implement, Menominee, Synergy Co-op, Annabis Silo, also Martin Transport, Compeer Financial, Hurlburt Heating and Plumbing, Anderson Agribusiness, our Pioneer Seeds representative in Menominee, Osteoplastics, Dunn Energy, Sunny Skies CBD, Bruner Seeds, West Wisconsin, and 24/7 Telcom. Please thank all of our sponsors. Without their support, we would not have been able to have our 3 days of live streams from the Dunn County Fair with their livestock shows. A reminder, you can watch a replay of the Dairy and Beef Show on our YouTube channel, Durand Broadcasting. Just go to Durand Broadcasting. You'll be able to watch a replay of the Dairy and the Beef shows. We'll also have the Swine Show as well coming up later on this afternoon. From the Dunn County Fair, you've been watching the Dunn County Fair's Swine Show. I'm Brian Winnikins for WRDN.
Okay, the Seiler trailer is here. It's in the hoop barn. Siler's trailer is here, so it's in the hoop barn, so that can start getting loaded. We'll start loading hoop barn pigs. Okay.